Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Then Bharata says, a jar full of water with leaves and gems and gold should be placed in the center of the stage, and also all the musical instruments should be covered and puja or flowers should be offered for those musical instruments, he says. Now he moves on to the worship of Jarjara, especially though he has given earlier, now he comes to the actual worship of Jarjara. Having worshipped all the gods in the due order, he says, the puja should be done for Jarjara. How do you erect a Jarjara? What is the offering you make for the Jarjara? How do you propitiate a Jarjara? For the Jarjara, a white cloth is to be tied on the top, then a blue cloth next at the Rudra joint, yellow cloth at the Vishnu joint, red cloth at the Skanda joint, and variegated color cloth at the lowest joint, which is for the Naga, and the garlands to be offered and incense is to be offered. The shloka goes thus: Pujayitva tu sarvani devatani yatakramam jarjaraha prati sampujya syat tato avigna jarjaraha shvetam shirasi vatsram syat neelam raudrecha parvani Vishnu parvani syat pitam raktam skandasya parvani Moola parvani chitram tu deyam vastram hitartinam sadrisham cha pradatavyam malya dhupa anulepanam. After offering the incense, all the vidhis to be performed to the Jarjara puja is to be done. So the mantra to be recited for consecration of Jarjara, what is it? Bharata says, Vignanam shamanartam hi devair brahma purogamaihi nirmitastvam mahaviryo vajrasaro mahatanuhu shiraste rakshatu brahma sarva deva ganaihi saha dvitiyam cha harah parva tritiyam cha janardanaha chaturtam cha kumarascha panchamam pannagotamaha nityam sarvehi patutvam surastvam cha shivo bhava. So this is the mantra to be recited for doing the puja for Jarjara. What does it mean? He says, let Brahma with all the other gods, sarva deva ganaihi saha rakshatu, let them protect. Haraha will protect from the second part. Janardana, Vishnu will protect from the third part. Kumara will be protecting from the fourth part, Kartikeya. And Pannaga from the fifth part, Naga. Let the gods protect and bring victory and prosperity to the king, says Bharata. That is how this Jarjara puja is to be done. And now he moves on to the Homa, or pouring the ghee into the sacrificial fire. After the Jarjara has been worshipped, the offering is to be done. Appropriate mantras to be recited to perform homa and pour ghee into the sacrificial fire. Let us see about that now. So, this homa is to be done with pure ghee to be poured on the sacrificial fire, and then torches to be lighted. The light has to be shown, and then the whole place should be illuminated, and then the musical instruments should be played, and sprinkling of water should be done along with the appropriate mantras. First, the Acharya should propitiate the king. The sloka says, Eva muktva tato vakyam nripatehe bhutaye buddha. First, he has to propitiate the king, and then Natya Yoga Prasiddhyartam Ashishaha Samprayojayet. So, the benediction for the production, the Natya, should be done appropriately. This is a sloka invocation of Saraswati and the goddess, other goddesses of the stage here. Bharata says, Saraswati dhritir meda hrihi shrihi lakshmihi matihi smritihi patuvo mataraha sarvaha siddhidascha bhavantu vaha. This verse says, let mothers such as Saraswati, Dhriti, Meda, Hri, Shri, Lakshmi and Smriti protect you and give you success. This is to be addressed by the person who is doing the puja. So, earlier he said that a jar should be placed in the center of the stage. Jar with water and leaves and gold. Now, after reciting all these mantras and propitiating all the gods, the breaking of the jar should happen. After performing the homa and the mantra, the breaking of the jar is to be done here. So, this is an important ceremony. Bharata says the jar should be broken properly. If it is not broken, it will bring defeat to the king. But if it is broken properly, all the other enemies will be defeated by the king. So, even now we have this breaking of, even now we see in houses, they keep a god and they break the god in front of the house for removing the drishti. So, it is seen there from the time of Natya Shastra that the breaking of jar is very, very important. And then the illumination of the stage, the illumination of the auditorium is to be done, and roaring voice, snapping of the fingers, moving around with the lighting around the stage should be done. The light is to be taken around this auditorium. Even now we have the lighting of the lamps for each and every play or anything when we start. Then the sound of the musical instruments like dundubi, shanka, mridanga, panava is to be played, and roaring noise like a fight should be presented. And there should be some bleeding of blood, he says. Bharata says, there should be, this will be a good omen, he says, because the asuras are waiting for drinking the blood. So, they will become happy if there are a little bit of bloodshed on the particular place. So, this is to be done later. So, the fighting should happen with a little bit of bloodshed. So, what will happen after this? Bharata says, good resulting of the consecration of the stage. If all these are performed properly and there are good results in consecrating the stage, then God will bless the artists and the performance as well. But if it is not done well, it not done in a proper way, the performance will also have vignas, says. Finally, he summarizes saying, Yajnena sammitam hyetat ranga devata pujanam apujayitva rangam tu naiva preksham prayojayet pujitaha pujayantyete manita manayanti cha. He says, offering worship to the gods of the stage is as meritorious as a Vedic sacrifice. No dramatic performance should be made without worshipping the deities of the presiding deities of the stage, especially. When worshipped, these gods bring you prosperity and they will honor you. And thus, without doing the worship for the Ranga Devata, do not start a performance, says Bharata. The evil consequences will follow if you are not propitiating the gods in the prescribed methods. Then he says, Shastrajnena vinitena shuchina dikshitena cha natyacharyena shantena kartavyam rangapujanam. The Natyacharya should perform this puja with a quiet mind. That is what even now, when we start the performance, before the performance, the Acharya is in front of all the troupe and they all pray, just closing the eyes in a shanta, in a very serene way, and they commence the performance. That gives peace of mind, and all these to be done accordingly earlier. The final shloka in this chapter says, Sthana brashtam tu yo tadyat balim udvigna manasaha. Balim udvigna manasaha. Mantrahino yata hota prayaschitti bhavet tu saha. Evameva vidir drishto Ranga Devata Pujane Nave Natyagrihe Karyam Prekshayam tu Prayoktribihi. So this is a beautiful verse which says, he who with an agitated mind places his offering in a wrong place is liable to expiation, like one who pours ghee into the sacrificial fire without proper mantras. The yajna should not be done without reciting the proper mantras. Like that, this Natyacharya should do the puja and the offering with a shanta mind, a serene mind. Otherwise, it will bring agitation, he says. This is the procedure prescribed for the Ranga Devata, worshipping the gods of the stage, and it should be followed by the dramatic producers and before holding a theatrical show in the newly built playhouse. So this is a very beautiful chapter which gives almost all the necessary details regarding the puja for the new playhouse. So Bharata accordingly in the second chapter talks about how to build a playhouse, and here in this chapter he gives the whole idea of what are all the offerings to the gods and how to consecrate the gods in the playhouse. It's not only for the stage, it's for the whole auditorium. How the pillars are to be consecrated, the Mattavarani, Ranga Pita, Ranga Shirsha, Nepatya Griha, and how the gods are to be propitiated and what are all the offerings to be given. And he also gives the important element of Jarjara Puja here. Of course, there is a Nandi recited which comes in the later chapter, Purvaranga chapter. But here he talks about the Jarjara Puja and the gods in order and the colors for the gods and how they protect the dancer, the actor, the acharya and the whole lot of the performers. And so this is important. Even now, we do pujas in our house. Bhumi puja we do. And then the puja for laying the dwara, doorway. This is still followed. And then the walls are consecrated. Then, of course, the pillars are consecrated. Each and every pillar. And then there are people who even buy gems and put in the dwara before building the gateway. And then the whole roof is built and each and every part of the building, the puja is done. And before entering the house, we even bring in the cow and do a puja. This is what given here in Natya Shastra. Go Brahmanaha. Go and Brahmana should come inside the house, inside the Prekshagriha. And puja is to be done for that. Puja is to be offered for them. And this gives an elaborate detail of all these elements. And he also talks about how the jar is to be broken and why it is to be broken, and even the bloodshed. And even now we have the torches, taking around the torch before starting a sport, breaking of the gourd in front of the house on auspicious days. These are all still followed. And the motakas, the offering of the madhubarka, the payasa. So these are the details given in detail by Bharata, and it is really, you have to understand how all these have been brought into a nutshell of nearly the shlokas in this chapter, 101 shlokas. And each and every chapter has to be studied in more detail. I am only giving you the shlokas and the meaning behind that. If you go into the intricate elements, like if you are an expert in Vastu Shastra, or if you need to be an expert in Vastu Shastra, you have to study this chapter in detail for the temple architecture and other elements. Thus, Bharata ends this chapter 3, Ranga Devata Pujana, the puja or the propitiation of Ranga Devata, the Devata, the goddess of the stage. Namaste.